And recording. And we have 2 minutes and then we'll let people in.
I'm going to let David in, okay?
Of course. I got it.
You do? Okay. I'm assuming he said David's iPhone.
But I guessed.
So, Cantor Penny, quick story. Last night, my father got a text from Larry Schroyer, who used to work for down in Florida, and he said to say hello.
I've been in touch with Larry all week. Is he tuning in?
He is. It was kind of funny. It was out of the blue text that said, "Congratulations on your daughter's or your granddaughter's bar mitzvah." And it was kind of like, wait a minute, how did you know that?
So what did your dad do, if you don't mind me asking, who worked with Larry?
Nothing. He used to work for Empire State News when the Schroyers owned that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're letting people in.
Yay! Go for it.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome on this glorious Western New York Shabbat morning where the sun is out and we are all gathered via TBZoom, Temple Beth Zion on Zoom for a Shabbat morning of worship, of song, of praise, and of celebration of Natalie Kopf becoming bat mitzvah. And to help us with that, we are going to start with someone from her family to help us read this inspiration for prayer that is on the screen right now. We are inviting Eliza Malamed to come and read. And we're going to ask the Kopf family to unmute. There we go.
We give thanks to you, O God, for this Shabbat day, which unites us as a community of faith and hope. For the holiness of Shabbat, which can lead us to fulfill the best that is in us, we give thanks. For the memories of Shabbat, enriched by generations of our people who observed it and from it drew courage to face hardship and light to banish darkness, we are grateful. We offer thanks for the peace of Shabbat, the day consecrated to family love. O God, our turning to you exalts our humanity. You are the joy of our life, the source of its greatness, its power, and its beauty. Help us, O God, to find inspiration for the coming week. Help us to find peace within ourselves and one another.
Thank you. And now Mary Kopf will lead us in the next reading.
We sit in community, elbow to elbow, eye to eye. So close, perhaps we brush against each other as we move in prayer. Ears filled with the voices of friends, teachers, fellow travelers who pray with us from the next seat from across the room. We come to silence, rhythm of words, shared melody, hushed. Connected first one to all. We now let go to be alone with the Holy One, to speak in mind and heart and soul, but not with lips. The prayers we weave together cannot replace the private conversation. God, our partner, awaits us. One by one, a miracle.
Wonderful. And we invite our bat mitzvah, Natalie, to start us off with her worship as well.
May my life be one link in the chain of goodness as I say the prayers of my ancestors. Help me to recall their devotion and faithfulness, their joy and suffering, which are in every word. Holiness in my heritage, may I be worthy of it. May our traditions live in me and pass from me to generations I shall never know. Enriched by the truth that I have found and the good deeds I have done. So may I fulfill my task on earth and receive my blessing. And when the service ends and the prayers have ceased, help me to bring their spirit to the world in which I live. May I love God above all and my neighbors as myself, and being a living witness to the truth that never changes.
So I'm going to ask that Natalie and her parents, who are going to present Natalie with her talit. This talit is very special. It is a family heirloom. It was her grandfather's talit. So Natalie is going to hold it up in front of her as she prepares to recite the blessing out loud.
As I wrap myself in the talit, I fulfill the mitzvah of my Creator. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotah v'tzivanu lahatiti v'atziti.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And now Natalie is going to lead us in the prayer which thanks God for giving us the gift of our physical bodies.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom, you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware, we would lack the strength to sustain life before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength.
Baruch atah Adonai rofei chol basar umafli la'asot.
Amen.
Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatan bi tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi. Ata v'rata, ata yitzarta, ata nefachta bi.
And Natalie continues with the reading, the soul that you have given me.
The soul that you have given me, O God, is pure. You created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as I have breath, therefore, I will give thanks to you, my God and the God of all ages, source of all being, love, guide of every human spirit.
Baruch atah Adonai asher b'yado nefesh kol chai v'ruach kol basar ish. We continue with our blessings for daily miracles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sachrim alav pidenu v'nolam.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asirim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rakarat alamayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbim shalomim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten le'ayev koach.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamalvir shel Adonai, v'tnuma li'afatai.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani b'tzelem Elohim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani bat chorim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani Yisrael.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozi Yisrael b'gvura.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, otei Yisrael b'tifara. We offer a blessing for learning, for entering the day and finding new things. And that blessing is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who sanctifies us with commandments, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. And of course, Natalie has done more than just engage with words of Torah. She has lived words of Torah, and she's going to share with us a little bit of one of the projects that she's been working on as her mitzvah project for her bat mitzvah, but really for her life.
My mitzvah project is raising money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation of Western New York Great Strides Walk, which will be held virtually on October 3rd in honor of my brother Adam. Thankfully, my brother is healthy, but the foundation funds valuable research to help patients not as fortunate. I'm planning on selling bubbles to blow away CF when we get back to school. With this project, I am working on the mitzvah, which is the commandment of healing the sick. This commandment is especially important today.
Thank you so much, Natalie. And we say, Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'emo Yisrael. Praised are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people, Israel. And we move on to Chatzi Kaddish.
And now Natalie is going to lead us in the prayer which thanks God for giving us this gift of the morning light.
The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcome than gold. A Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning, my Torah. My special human gift is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them. You who redeems the sun from darkness.
Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Hamaorot. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. So over these last few months, we've heard over and over again about how we are all in this together. We're now going to continue our service with Natalie leading us in a prayer which expresses our gratitude to God for our community, its wisdom, its teachings throughout all time. Natalie?
O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear, in every land and every age. Your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. Oh yeah, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity. May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth.
Baruch atah Adonai habocher ba'amo Yisrael ba'ahava. Praised are you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love.
We continue with Shema. Natalie, will you lead us in Shema, please?
Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Mahuto Leolam Ha'ed. Please be seated.
Natalie, if you would continue with V'ahavta, please.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווה היום על לבביך. ושינית לבניך ודיברתם בם ושינית בביתך ובלתך בדרך וקשוק לאום על לידך, ופעולתותיכם בין עמך, לקשרתם להיות על ידך,
ביתך ובשעריך,
למה ועשיתם את המצוותיי לכם קדושים אלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתי אתם מארץ מצרים להיות להם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
אלוהיכם אמת.
And Natalie, if you would offer us this reading about our connection with the redeeming power of God.
Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of world redeemed, the song of peace.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות אוסף פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות אוסף פלא. שירה חדשה שבחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים. יחד כולם הודו וימלכו ויאמרו, יחד כולם הודו וימלכו ויאמרו. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות אוסף פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות אוסף פלא. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Adonai, mi kamoch nedam hakodesh, nora, nora, nora tehilot, oseh feleh, oseh feleh, oseh feleh, sur Yisrael, kuma bezrat Yisrael, uvteichenu mecha, Yehuda v'Yisrael, go aleinu, Adonai, Tzivaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch Adonai, Ga Yisrael.
Amen. We continue with Tefillah, our central prayer. If you are comfortable rising and facing towards the east, we invite you to do so.
Adonai sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehillatcha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaNorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, Umevii Gula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava. Melech Choser u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol, atah rav lehoshia, morid atal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech nofelim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishinei afar, michamocha b'geverot, umido melach, melech mebit umechaye, umatmiach Yeshua, v'nemanat ala chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hakol.
Amen.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדשים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאיך, וכרזה עשה ואמר, קדוש, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech al haaretz, Kevod. Adirenu Adonai, Adonenu, Madir Shimecha v'chol haaretz. Baruch kevod Adonai, mimakomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu v'hu Yashmienu berachamav le'nei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohayich Zion, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, בשבחך אלוהינו ליבנו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Amen. If you are still standing, you may be seated as we continue with the singing of Yismechu, our celebration for the Sabbath day.
So when the rabbis created our prayers, they wanted us to immerse ourselves in this wonderful Shabbat, independent and in spite of a pandemic. We can still, in our own appropriately socially distanced houses, in our personal houses of worship, we can still immerse and enjoy and surrender to the beauty and the happiness that Shabbat lends itself to us.
Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshi shvi Shabbat, kulam yisbehu v'tangmitu becha. Shabbat yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. V'hashvigi ratzita bo v'kidashto, chemdat yamim ata karata, seichel maseh bereshit. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat.
So our service will continue as Natalie leads us once again in prayer. This prayer, which I have always felt exemplifies, like no other prayer, at least that I'm familiar with, all of the qualities that would make us good people. So Natalie, if you will lead us in this prayer, please.
On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us hear your call, grant us enough health to fulfill our duties, and the compassion we need to attend to others. Teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves, and the charity to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough to not be discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence, O source of blessing. Look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you. We praise you, Adonai, whom alone we serve in reverence.
Baruch atah Adonai she'otecha levadcha b'yira na'avod.
Amen. Our prayer for peace.
שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל ישראל עמך. ברכנו אבינו כולנו כאחד באור פניך. כי באור פניך נתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל ישראל עמך. תורת חיים וימה חסד ואהבת חסד וצדקה וברכה ורחמים וחיים ושלום. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל ישראל עמך. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל ישראל עמך. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
Amen. We continue with moments of reflection for silent prayer on our own, using the text in front of us or the words of our heart in Hebrew, in English, in whatever language is most comfortable for us. We take a few moments for silent prayer.
במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
We continue with our Seder Kiryat Torah Shabbat, our order for the reading of Torah for Shabbat. And if you are comfortable rising and joining us as we rise in honor of the Torah, we invite you to do so.
אין כמוך באלוהים אדוני ואין כמעשיך מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז למו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. אב הרחמים היטיב ברצונך את ציון. תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים. כי בך לבד בטחנו, מלך ארם ונישא, אדון עולמים. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. So we're about to prepare to pass the Torah down from generation to generation. But before we do that, as Jennifer is getting this Torah scroll, a quick word. This is not one of Temple Bazion's scrolls. We do, during this pandemic, we have offered a traveling Torah to our traveling TBZ brotherhood and sisterhood of our kids in this class. But this Torah, while every Sefer Torah is special, this one takes it to another level. This Torah was from Ahavat Israel, the synagogue out in Kingston, New York, that has now since closed their buildings. And we know and we've learned that this Torah that Natalie is about to become bat mitzvah in front of and be called to the Torah in front of was the same one that her mother read at her bat mitzvah just a few years back. And we want to thank the family of David Brenner, who's been housing the Sefer Torah. So David Brenner, if you're out there in Zoom land or Facebook land or a shout out, thank you for allowing Natalie to read from this Sefer Torah. It is an inheritance, I'm sure, that she deserves and has earned. And so Jennifer, you're going to now hand this Torah down. I see you, you're holding it, so wonderful. You're gonna pass it, good. We'll get Dad there.
Now, Natalie, you read the line in the middle of the page in this scroll.
In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Le'amo Yisrael Bikdushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shema Gadlul Adonai Yitiv Unramma Shemo Yachdav Necha Adonai Agedula Ve'agibura Ve'atiferet Ve'anetza Yachol Ki Cho B'Shamayim Uvaretz Ki Cho B'Shamayim Uvaretz Lecha Adonai HaMamlacha V'yamid Naseh Lechol Erosh.
And as the Kopf family prepares the Torah for reading, we invite up our first Aliyah, our first blessers before and after the reading of the Torah, Trudy and Lisa. We invite you forward to see where they're reading from and offer our blessings, which are on the screen.
Baruch Hu Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Baruch Banu Mikol Ha'amim. V'natan Lanu Es Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
So you may have noticed before Natalie begins to read that we are back in an earlier book in the Torah. Natalie is reading from Parshat Tzav, which was her bat mitzvah portion that was scheduled in the spring. And so we're calling our attention and giving a nod to it as Natalie is going to fulfill the mitzvah of allowing us to hear Torah today.
Amen. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Sav et Aharon et banav lemor. Sat Torah haolam hi haolam. Mokadam al hamizbeach kol halayla ad haboker ba'esh hamizbeach tukabor. V'lavash hakohen midash ba umiknaseh ba yilvash al basaron ve'erim et hadeshem asher tonhel ha'esh et haolam al mizbeach.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who's the starter?
yeah.
Okay.
V'saron et hadeshem hamizbeach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yofi, Yofi, Yasha Koach.
Yasher Koach, and we invite our Torah blessers. We send Trudy to offer the blessings after the Torah reading.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Nasam Lanu Noras Emet. V'chayei Olam Natav V'sochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. And now we invite Jen and Rob to offer the blessing before the Torah reading for the second Aliyah.
Baruch Adonai Baruch.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Ufashon et bigadav v'lava bigadi makerim v'motzi et hadeshem el mikutz lamahanet el makor ta'or v'lavash hakohen midash bara umiknaseh ba
Ve'ha'esh al hamizbeach tukad bo.
tikve uvier aleha hakohen eti baboker barak aleha alave hashlamim tamim tukad al mizbeach lo tikve.
Yasher Koach. Beautiful.
Blessing words, Yasher Koach. It's lovely.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet. V'chayei olam natat b'dochinu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. So Natalie, before you chant the Torah blessings, and I'm going to give you a second to get them for the Aliyah, this is the moment where I will call you publicly as the chosen one today to become bat mitzvah. And you are doing spectacularly. And I would like to call you, I'm going to do it all in Hebrew to identify you in your Hebrew name. and to identify you as the bat mitzvah today. Tamod, 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 Ruchel bat Penina veRobert, Havechura bat ha-mitzvah. You do the Torah blessing?
Baruch Adonai Hambara.
Baruch Adonai Hambara Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambara Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bakar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai noten haTorah. V'zot Torah haminha hagrave otah b'nei Aharon lifnei Adonai el Moshe
El Panei.
Hamizbeach be'rimi meinu b'kutzon misolet haminha umishonam be'kolafonam asher al haminha v'gitir Hamizbeach be'ach mikol azkeratan ladonai v'hanoteret mimenach yokalu Aharon ufanam matzot te'afel b'mekom kadosh atzar ohel moed me'ishem kodesh kadashim him kahatar ve'ishem kol zahar lifnei Aharon yokaluha bok olam ledortehem me'ishem Adonai kol asher yiga bahem yidash.
Shkoyach, Yasher Koach.
Now we can have you do the blessing after the Torah. You've earned it.
Baruch et Adonai haolam mikol ha'amim asher natan lanu Torah emet v'ukei olam noten be'oheinu. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Mr. Koach, we're going to give Natalie a quick break to say, wow, I just did that, and get prepared. Haftarah in this moment that she brought us to, because Natalie, you have elevated this moment so beautifully. You have brought us to a heightened sense of holiness on this holiest of days of Shabbat and your bat mitzvah. And now we are going to use this extra energy to pay attention to those in our world who are in need of healing. We are going to send out our thoughts, our wishes, and most importantly, our caring, our compassion, our phone calls, our help in whatever way to those who are in need of healing. And there's so many. And here, Natalie, you've brought us to this taste of the world to come on this Shabbat, this beautiful sense of perfection. And now we have to use that energy to heal our world and heal people who are in need of healing. In our community, we remember for healing in particular, Doug Baker, Des Del Barba, Katie Berg, Megan Carney Cranmer, Debbie Caniglio, Denise Cooper, Etta Finanziani, Kathy Freudenheim, David Froman, Sharon Froman, Saul Glinna, Rose Haber, Ren Hauser, Howard Steve, the Mara family, James Nicholson, Susan Reynes, Sheila Ross, Yetta Rubin, Ruth Shop, Sandy Seide, Sandra Shapiro, Miriam Sherman, Laura Spire, Paul Staley, Helene Steinhardt, Victoria Vosa, Andy Weiner, Yadon Wolfson, Mark Yablin, Linda Zemmel, Neil Zions, Eva Bat Lebasha Yehudit, and Yitzhak Chaim Ben Miriam. For all of them, we send out healing and we sing our Misha Berach for healing.
Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who bless our mothers, may the one who bless our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May the pain and loneliness we're feeling be diminished by the power of your love. Mi sheberach avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who bless our mothers, may the one who bless our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh Hechulim. Praised are you, Adonai, healer of the sick. And so we continue with Haftarah.
As Natalie gets her Haftarah blessings, she's going to also get her Haftarah portion. I would be normally doing this if we were side by side, so the melody could get in her ear, but I know that she's ready. I know she's going to do well. Take it away, Nat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, asher bahar b'nviim tovim, v'ratzav v'divrehem ha'ne'emarim b'emet. Baruch atah Adonai, aboher b'torah u'v'moshem avtov, of Yisrael lamot b'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedem. Kol amar Adonai Sevaot Elohei Yisrael Olotehem Sefu al zihehem v'iklu basar ki lo divarti et avotehem v'iklu tivitim beyom oti otam me'eretz Mitzrayim al divrei olam v'zarva ki imei tatavar hazem tivititi otam lemor shemu v'kolim v'hayiti lahem lelohim ve'atem titi'u li le'om ve'oglitem v'iklu haderem asher avater etem lema yitra lehem
And now we're gonna take your Haftarah blessings for after the reading. You ready?
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Zorko Haamim Zadik V'Kol Hadarom Hane'emarim Haomer Ve'oseh Hamdaber Kayem Shekol Devara Emet V'Tzedek Al Torah Ve'el Havodah Ve'el Hamvihim Ve'el Yom HaShabbat Hazeh Shenatan Lanu Adonai Eloheinu Mikdusham V'Litnutam Levodat Otif Hareb Alakakol Adonai Eloheinu Anaknu Modimnam Verkim Otam Yitbarak Shim Hai Befi Kohai Tamim Leolam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Oh, Yasher Koach, beautifully done. Natalie, you've done wonderfully. You led us beautifully. You read from the 5 books of Moses, our Torah. You read from prophets, our Haftarah, meant to reflect on that. And now you get to join our tradition by reflecting on what you've read and giving us a teaching. So we are going to ask you to lead us in your teaching, your Devar Torah.
When I first wrote this speech, I was going to talk about how most girls would be very excited if their 12th birthday fell on a Saturday. They could sleep in and wouldn't have to go to school. On my 12th birthday, I was up and out of the house by 5:20 a.m. on my way to Riverworks Ice Arena. If you didn't know, Riverworks is outdoors and it was about 10 degrees. My team had a game at 6:40 a.m. and we had to be there an hour early. I did this because the game was in a tournament semifinal and my team was counting on every player to do their role, even if that meant getting up at 5 a.m. on my birthday. I was also going to tell you how hockey tournaments are a time to bond and hang out with friends and teammates. Some tournaments start on a Friday and I have to miss school. My teachers expect me to get my work done even if I missed class since I had my assignments. My teammates noticed I had homework to do and made sure I did it before I could have fun with them. Our team won that early game and I turned my assignments on time. The sacrifice of sleep on my birthday and hangout time with my friends showed my teachers, coaches, and teammates that I was going to be there for my team, but also work hard to keep my grades up. I've become a more disciplined, responsible student and a better teammate. These sacrifices seem small in comparison to the sacrifices being made around the world over the last several months. Cities, schools, offices, and even entire countries have been shut down. First responders and medical professionals, including my Uncle Mark, have sacrificed their health to treat the sick and keep us safe. Personally, I've had to sacrifice hugs with my grandparents and seeing my new baby cousin. The end of our hockey season was canceled and a lot of the softball season too. I wasn't allowed to see my friends and cousins in person. These sacrifices have had some good results. I spent more time with my parents and brother, found other ways to stay in touch with friends and extended family, and learned to cook a bunch of different foods. Thank you, Instacart. I've also gained a bigger appreciation for my teachers. And of course, I didn't have to wake up at 6 a.m. every day. Today I chanted from Sav, a parsha of Torah portion in the book of Leviticus. Sav is all about sacrifices. People would bring offerings or sacrifices out of gratitude or to make amends for doing something wrong, or because they felt guilty about something and had to show that they were serious. In all of these situations, our ancestors were showing that they cared by giving up something of value. I'm happy we no longer sacrifice animals. I know the teacher teaches us to do this with the example of animals, but I think it is also telling us about time too, or just giving of yourself to show God you want to be better and that you are a good person. I've been in situations where it's clear that other people did not care as much, and we saw it because they didn't devote time, which is really all I have to give. My personal sacrifices show my teachers, parents, coaches, and friends that I can get better at anything when I give of my time, which is one of the biggest offerings we can make. We've all had to make significant sacrifices this year to keep our community safe. Social distancing keeps us apart from friends and family, which is difficult when we love them so much. These sacrifices will allow us to end this pandemic and get back to spending time with the ones we love. Thank you to my friends for coming today, well, virtually. Thank you to all my religious school teachers, Cantor Myers for all the lessons to prepare me for today, Rabbi Farish for helping me with this speech, and Mrs. Hen for keeping me on track with everything I did today. A special thanks goes out to my Grandma B and Grandpa for all the supporting phone calls and rides to lesson. Also, thank you to my Grandma Trude for the support through my religious education, even from a distance. Thank you to my little brother Adam for helping me along the way with supporting hugs and kisses. And last but certainly not least, thank you to my parents for all the mashed potatoes and microwavable mac and cheeses you have made me before lessons, which definitely helped. And for the support and encouragement you gave me along the way too.
Well, Yatra, truly fantastic offering of prayer leading and teaching and chanting. And now it is the cantors in my honor to offer you a blessing from our tradition.
So this wonderful blessing comes from Parshat Naso, which occurred back in June and is one of your classmates' Torah portion. And it was what was said to the high priests, to the Kohanim, when they were being blessed, as dictated by God to Aaron, Moses' brother. But I'm going to change the Hebrew to reflect your gender, because everything, just about everything in the Torah is masculine gender reflected. So you're going to hear some, right? Yes, okay. All right, Natalie, you ready? We're going to bless you. Yivarechech Adonai v'yishmerech.
May God always offer you blessings and watch over you.
Ya'ir Adonai v'chanech.
May the face of God always turn to you with grace and warmth and wonder.
Yisa Adonai panav v'elech v'yasem lach shalom.
May you always encounter the divine in whole ways, in ways that bring wholeness and peace and completion into your life. May you turn that wholeness in all your encounters into wonder and blessings no matter what you do. And we all say, Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be the divine will, and Amen. Mazel Tov. And now we are thrilled to have your parents provide you some words of blessing as well.
I don't know who wants to.
Stand up here, buddy. Stand up.
It's a family affair here.
Kopf.
Well, we finally made it. 4 months and 4 days from 4/4, we're here on 8/8. We were all nervous during the first meeting last summer, and I, to no one's surprise, asked the most questions in the room. The challenge was daunting, not only the work involved, but also balancing school, sports, music, and dance. You took on the challenge confidently, like you do everything else, with only a few bumps here and there, like searching for your lesson binder under your bed with Cantor Penny waiting patiently on the FaceTime. 5 months ago, we were all excited for this day and everything that has to come with it. Then everything changed, but you took it all in stride, and now you wowed us with how beautifully you read from the Torah today, the same Torah I read from for my bat mitzvah.
There are so many things we could say about you that we're proud of. You're sweet, kind, and responsible, a great big sister, and have become a confident young woman who has found her voice, and not just when telling really long stories that may or may not have a point. You're a successful 13-year-old, high honor roll, beautiful flutist, state champion defensewoman, killer pitcher, accomplished cook, who, by the way, makes the best gluten-free baked goods on Grand Island. Would you not agree, Grandpa?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And when you do have a setback, you get over it and get back to work. So as an example of that, a couple of years ago, you were asked to pitch up a level to help out another team. You were excited to get to play with your cousin Megan, and I'm sure a little nervous. One of the first games was during a cold, misty rain, and your pitcher was struggling to keep control in the conditions. I helped you warm up, if you can call having 2 pitches slip out of your hand and over my head a warm up. Bigger girls, bigger ball, terrible conditions, team struggling, but you showed no fear and sparked a comeback. Confident and smiling through it all. The picture of you and Meg on the bench is from that day and one of our favorites.
You have also shown us time and time again that you're up to the challenge of whatever comes your way, whether it was by your choice or ours. You have been terrified about big rides, and on the last Disney trip, I had to convince you, well, maybe it was a bribe, to get you to do the rock and roller coaster with your cousin. But we got you to do it, you had fun, and eventually we'll get to Universal Studios when we can actually travel again. And now her brother Adam did want to say a few words.
I'm proud of Natalie. I'm proud of Natalie for doing a great job today, and she's the best big sister.
We have so much to be proud of you for and wanted to make sure.
We have so much to be proud of you for and wanted to make sure I didn't cry. So we'll keep this short. Congratulations on your accomplishment today, and we look forward to seeing you grow and achieve. We love you.
Mazel tov. So wonderful to see you surrounded by family and do this accomplishment even at a distance. And how Zoom brings us together is so wonderful. So Yasher Koach, Mazel tov to all of you. And we invite our friend and board member and president of the Brotherhood, Ken Graber, to offer you congratulations on behalf of the temple.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. As the Rabbi mentioned, I'm Ken Graber. I'm a trustee of the temple and president of the Brotherhood. First of all, I want to congratulate Natalie on the wonderful job she did today and her whole family. We realize how difficult everything is at this time with the pandemic and everything, and to be able to learn and to exhibit your education to the level you did is really incredible. We know it was difficult for your parents to plan this and then have it delayed, have it come back. So, you know, everybody did a great job, and we hope you appreciate the day. You certainly deserve all the credit that you're getting. I do want to inform you that there are some gifts that we usually give to the Bar and Bat Mitzvah students. Unfortunately, because of the situation with the pandemic, we can't personally get there. However, there will be a time later when you'll be presented. There's a gift from the Sisterhood, the Brotherhood, the Myron and Arthur Gross Memorial Fund, and the temple. And that'll be not just you, but all the students who Bar and Bat Mitzvah students. So once again, congratulations. I'm going to describe some of the events coming up, but of course everything is on our temple website, which is tbz.org. First of all our services are on Zoom, whether it be Friday evening at 6 o'clock or Saturday morning at 10:30. Also, Saturday morning at 9:15, there's Torah study through Zoom, and you can access it through the temple website. If you're not a member, the members get an email every week. Also, every Wednesday at 11:30, the rabbi has a regular learning session, and starting actually it was last week on the 4th, but it's going to be the 11th, 18th, and 25th. The cantor is working together with social workers from Jewish Family Service from 7 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday evenings. This will be about different subjects to help the students cope with the problems going on in the world today. You'll get important tools and coping mechanisms. No one says you have any particular problem. This is to help you if you did have a problem, or to hopefully you won't have a problem. You can help other people learning these things. So please contact the cantor either through the office or email, which is cantor@tbz.org. We have a fundraiser coming up, believe it or not. It's been very difficult to do anything. We're going to have a Chevetta's chicken drive-through. So we're allowed to do it since it's a drive-through, but it's going to be August 20th. That's a Thursday from 3 to 7 p.m. or until it's sold out. It's $10 pre-sale. You can go on our website, which once again, tbz.org, and order, or you can, it's $12 the day of the event. It may be sold out. I hope for your sake, if you come late, it isn't. There's half a chicken, 2 sides, and a roll with butter. I also like to point out that we encourage people to donate money The rabbi, the cantor, and Judy Henn all have discretionary funds, and they use it to help people who need assistance. And we don't know who they're helping. That's all anonymous, but we trust them, and that's a very good thing to do. And last but not least, if anyone's able to donate blood, I encourage everyone through the Red Cross to donate blood. A lot of people need that. So once again, congratulations, Natalie. Next Saturday, Max Goldhirsch is going to be bar mitzvah, so we're looking forward to that. We've been sort of going with a period without having many of these, if any, so it's nice to have them now. This is really great. So congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Wonderful. I just want to add one thing with the partnership with Jewish Family Services and Temple at Zion, that these free sessions, and I'm saying this specifically during this service because many of our bar and bat mitzvah kids and family members are signed in right now. And even for a mental health checkup, it is a wonderful, free, confidential opportunity for our bar and bat mitzvah kids only. And there's another group that is forming for parents and older adults, but specifically targeted to our 12 and 13-year-old B'nai Mitzvah students, because as Ken said, this is not how we imagined a bat mitzvah was going to be 6 months ago, let alone 2 years ago when it was planned. And so we need to wrestle and help our kids learn how to cope, learn about the unknown and the uncertainty. And I encourage any TBZ bar and bat mitzvah kids, you got to send me a quick email and I'll give you the link. It's 7 p.m. every Tuesday for the month of August for 1 hour. And I will be there, but not as a leader, but just as a friendly face. So please take us up, and Jewish Family Services, take us up on this. We are here for you.
And with such a vision of hope and mending and healing, we turn towards our communal prayer that leads us to a vision of the world to come, a vision of all of us working together, a vision of all of us healthy in mind, body, and spirit together. Aleinu, if you are comfortable rising, we invite you to do so and face towards the east.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
The oneness of God is declared in the Shema, yet that oneness is not apparent in the world. Human action can bring oneness and peace to all.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהי אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated as we turn to Mourner's Kaddish and our list of people and thoughts on mourning from Judy Henn.
So before we continue with the Mourner's Kaddish, I want to offer my mazel tov, my congratulations to Natalie and the whole Kopf family. What a fabulous job you did, Natalie, under somewhat less than ideal conditions, and you had to drag the training out an extra 4 or 5 months, as I well know, and you just did a fabulous job. We are all so proud of you. I can hardly wait to see where life takes you next. You did a great job. So now we continue with the Mourner's Kaddish. This is the point in the service where we bring into our hearts those people who are no longer with us, whether they've passed away very recently from COVID or from other causes, or this is also an opportunity for us to bring to mind people whose anniversary of their death is at this time. We are thankful for the many lives that have touched our own, some close as breath itself, some light as a passing breeze, each leaving something of themselves with us. We mourn for losses, yet we are grateful, for we did touch those lives, and all is not lost, for each has left something of itself within us. Today we offer our condolences to the families of Norman Schrut and Rabbi Aiden Steinsaltz, both of whom passed away this past week. We're still in Shloshim, 30 days of intensive mourning, for Bella Pearl Baum, Arnold Chernick, Anita Goldberg, Adelaide Adele Klein, Beth C. Polara, Erwin M. Rovner. And it is the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Hattie Rosenberg Barman, Hannah M. Beck, Esther Berman, Samuel Bloom, Michael Elliott Brown, Jacob Carroll, Janet B. Clark, Esther Cohn, Samuel Feldman, Bess Firestein, Miles Naylord Fox, Molly Friedman, Anna Fune, Irving Gerstmann, Julius Goldstein, Richard Allen Gould, Louise Jelinek Gross, John Gunsberger, Melvin B. Hoffman, Alphonse Isaac, Jacob Cannell, Cecilia H. Laping, Nathan Lightman, George Meister, Robert J. Miller, Susan Miller, Lisbeth Ann Morrison, Saul R. Myers, Israel Saul Newman, Rose Panimo, Dr. Irving B. Pearlstein, Carolyn Froman Pfeiffer, Benjamin Rabinowitz, Charles Haskell Raphael, Blanche Barman Reich, Anna C. Remsen, Molly Revzin, Jenny Rosenthal, Beatrice Rothschild, Lillian Cadet Shapiro, Stuart E. Silverschatz, Arnold Snyder, G. Robert Strauss Jr., Luba Taylorson, Rose Tegler, Albert D. V. Weil, Daniel H. Weinberg, Sarah Weinberg. We recall also on this special morning of Natalie's bat mitzvah, these members of the Kopf family who were not able to be with her this morning. Betty Kopf, Carl Kopf, Alice Malamed, Arthur Malamed, Ernie Malamed, Gary Malamed, Rachel Malamed, Eileen Robinson, James Robinson. If there are other names that should have been mentioned for Kaddish, people perhaps for whom you are saying Kaddish this week, please keep their names in your hearts, and if it is your custom to join with the mourners in the Kaddish, please join me. Yit gadal v'yit kadash, shemei rabba, ba'alma divrach yerute v'yamlich malchute, b'chaye echon v'yom echon v'chaye d'chal beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'yimru, amen. Yehei shmei rabba mavarach le'olam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'ala v'yithalal, Shmei Kudisha Brichu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran ba'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imrama, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen.
Amen.
May the source of peace bring peace to us, to all Israel, to the whole world, comfort all the bereaved among us, and let us say together, friends, amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing.
We're going to conclude with the singing of Vishamru, and then Natalie will lead us in Natalie and her family will lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. V'shamra. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. And now we invite Natalie to offer Kiddush.
Al ken barach Adonai et yom ha-Shabbat vayikadshehu. Oh, I hear kiddos. Does she have a Kiddush cup?
We're going to have, my uncle's going to do the Kaddish and the Motzi. The Kiddush and the Motzi, sorry.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, first, I just wanted to thank Natalie because I thought she did a great job. Am I on there?
You are.
Okay. Well, I wanted to congratulate Natalie on a great job and Mazel Tov to Jen, Rob, and Adam. And I'm sure that I speak for everyone when I say that we love you and we're very proud of you. That's it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pri hagofein. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamolti lechem min haaretz. Amen.
So with that, we say, let's eat. Mazel tov to our family, to the Kopf family, to everybody. And I offer this reading that I found today, if I can find it again. It is a poem from a new poet, from Lee Young Lee, which applies to these moments when we need to find joy in the middle of everything. From blossoms comes this brown paper bag of peaches we bought from the boy at the bend in the road where we turned towards signs painted peaches. From laden bows, from hands, from sweet fellowship in the bins comes nectar at the roadside. Succulent peaches we devour, dusty skin and all, comes the familiar dust of summer, dust we eat. Oh, to take what we love inside, to carry within us an orchard, to eat not only the skin but the shade, not only the sugar but the days, to hold the fruit in our hands, adore it, then bite into the round jubilance of peach. There are days we live as if death were nowhere in the background, from joy to joy to joy, from wing to wing, from blossom to impossible blossom, to sweet, impossible blossom. Shabbat shalom to all of you, mazel tov to the Kopf family, and have a wonderful celebration of Shabbat afternoon. May it be a peaceful and wondrous day and week to come for all of us. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom chaverim, shalom chaverim, shalom, shalom, להתראות. להתראות. Shalom, shalom. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye, goodbye. Till we meet again, till we meet again. Goodbye and Mazel Tov.